Jayme Lynn Engstrom was born to young parents, Vicky and Ed Engstrom, who were just 17 years old when they married. Jayme was always vibrant and energetic growing up, according to a childhood friend. She had model-like features, even as a young child, with a petite build, striking pale blonde hair and crystal blue-gray eyes. Jayme lived with her parents and younger sister in McKeesport, Pennsylvania until the age of 10. She moved to Clearwater, Florida with her mother and younger sister after her mother and father split up. She attended Dunedin middle and high schools, but dropped out at age 16. Engstrom returned to Pennsylvania in 1989, fearing her life was in danger, due to a bad drug deal in Florida. While in Pennsylvania, she met a man and had gotten pregnant. She ended up having twin sons in 1990. Engstrom's relationship with the twins' father was rocky and abusive, and Engstrom spent a lot of time in women's shelters. She returned to Pinellas County in 1991, bringing her boyfriend and sons with her. She fell into a bad crowd very young, and her online criminal record in Florida starts that same year with petty theft. She then returned to Pennsylvania, living just doors away from her childhood home, which had since fell into disrepair and had been razed by the city. In April of 1992, she picked up a charge of promoting prostitution. Her record continues in Florida with multiple charges including open alcohol containers, obstruction and petty theft. Then Jayme became addicted to rock cocaine, or crack, as it is more commonly known, according to interviews her mother, Vicky, gave to sheriff's deputies and the press shortly after Jayme's disappearance. Court records showed charges ranging from lewd and lascivious, possession of drug paraphernalia, simple battery and disorderly intoxication. She was in and out of drug rehab multiple times. Sadly, Jayme was a known prostitute in Clearwater, frequenting the North Fort Harrison Street area. She also supposedly had prostitution charges in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Jayme got pregnant again, this time, giving birth to a daughter, whom she put up for adoption, and ultimately split up with her boyfriend, when she caught him with another woman. Engstrom was then staying with friends around the North Fort Harrison Avenue area in Clearwater, and would call her family 2 or 3 times a month to check in. She has not telephoned her mother or seen her children since January 7, 1994. She was last seen at 8:43 p.m. on February 20, 1994, when Clearwater police stopped her for walking down the middle of the road with an open container of alcohol near the Idle Spur Saloon, located in the 1300 block of Cleveland Street. This stop affected her last criminal charge on record. Court records show that there was a warrant out for Engstrom, but she never showed up to face charges. It was rescinded in 2007 due to the length of time and inability to prosecute, as Jayme was nowhere to be found. She has never been seen or heard from again. Her mother, who last saw her in January 1994, when she took her to get her driver's license, reported her as a missing person in December 1995, almost 2 years after she went missing. Several other local prostitutes were murdered around the same time Engstrom disappeared. Investigators believe the women, including Engstrom, may have been victims of a serial killer. There was speculation, but no proof, that Engstrom fell victim to James M. Randall, a serial killer of Mid-Pinellas prostitutes at that time. Engstrom disappeared 6 months before LaDonna Jean Steller's body was found on July 30, 1994. Steller was the first of 4 Clearwater prostitutes who detectives linked as victims of the serial killer. LaDonna Jean Steller was found dead in a lot on Drew Street near where Engstrom stayed with a friend. Wendy Ann Evans was murdered in October 1995, and Peggy Darnell was killed a month later in November of 1995. All the bodies were nude. All the women had been seen on North Harrison Avenue before they were killed. It was the death of prostitute Cynthia Pugh in January of 1996, one of the 4 North Fort Harrison Avenue prostitutes found murdered in 2 years, that set off alarms for her mother, Vicky. Vicky Engstrom then contacted detectives when a photograph of Pugh was publicized because Pugh closely resembled her daughter. Both women are described as small, blonde, and very attractive. Randall, of Dunedin, Florida, was arrested July 1, 1996 after he eluded deputies in a 4-day manhunt. James M. Randall is currently serving 2 life sentences for the deaths of Pugh and Evans. Detectives have also named him as their prime suspect in the slayings of LaDonna Steller and Peggy Darnell, but he has never been indicted in those killings. He is currently being held at Jefferson Correctional Institute in Monticello, Florida. Jayme is a Caucasian female with blonde hair, blue-gray eyes. She has a rose tattoo on her upper right arm at the shoulder, surgical scars on the upper insides of both of her thighs, and a vertical cesarean section scar on her abdomen. She may use the aliases Sherry Price, Julie Michaelin Edwards, Jacqueline Smith, and/or Sherry Wilson. Her disappearance remains unsolved. The following depicts age progression from her photos to age 55. Jayme was 22 years old at the time of her disappearance. Jayme has been missing since February 20, 1994. She went missing from Clearwater, Florida. Jayme is classified as endangered missing. She is a petite white female with date of birth as November 13, 1971. She stood 5 foot 5 inches and weighed between 110 to 120 pounds. Anyone with information about Jayme's disappearance or whereabouts, please call the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department at area code 727-582-6200. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.